All right. Continuing on.
I don't know how you're going to top that one.
Well, there's more.
Oh, good.
We got about 20 minutes, so there's more.
All right, good.
An English bulldog bites off Scottish man's peanut butter smeared genitals. I mean, this is the oldest trick in the book, isn't it?
Yeah.
A Scottish man has had his peanut butter smeared genitalia bitten off by an English bulldog. Now, would that bulldog be racist because he's English and this guy was Scottish?
It might be.
Paramedics were unable to recover them for reattachment.
Oh, no, so he swallowed it.
Well, apparently. An English bulldog has been euthanized after biting off his Scottish owner's testicles, which have been coated with peanut butter.
Ugh, okay.
A 22-year-old man who has not been named was found fully clothed and lying in a pool of blood. He was rushed to the hospital where he was put in an induced coma for several days. He returned to consciousness and cooperated with the police. Authorities say nobody else had been in the apartment at the time of the attack. The dog named Biggie...
Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop right there.
Yes.
This is not an attack. This guy asked this dog to put it to fucking cut his dick off. This is not an attack. You can't fucking do something that fucking heinous, and then when a dog doesn't react the way you want to, try and make the dog the fucking criminal here. You're the criminal for putting peanut butter on your dick to have a dog lick it, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, pal.
It's not an attack. Fido did his job. No, you mean let's reword that. Give that a better word than attack. The dog didn't attack this guy. This guy was sexually assaulting the dog. The dog fought back. Fucking weirdo. God. Okay.
The dog named Biggie, after gangster rapper Biggie Smalls, was found covered in his owner's blood.
Nice.
Inquiries were continuing to establish how a 22-year-old man sustained significant injuries to his groin area, a Scottish police spokesman said. However, as part of his investigation, the owner of the dog, which is believed to have been involved, has voluntarily signed documentation consenting to the destruction of the animal.
So they're going to kill the dog?
Yeah, they euthanized the dog.
Because this guy fucking antagonized him and he bit his dick off.
Yeah, he bit his dick off.
They shouldn't have killed the dog for that.
I agree.
That's crazy.
Well, now he's got a taste of blood.
Want the truth that would help all of society, they should have euthanized this guy.
Sure.
That guy should have been the one that was put down. What a sick fuck.
And the dog should have found a new home.
Yeah, no kidding.
A neighbor told the Daily Record that Biggie was an absolute angel. Biggie was such a nice dog. He isn't aggressive or anything. And he's quite small. He's fine with other dogs. The dog is absolute angel. I was happy to be around him. He gets a bit freaked out by noise, but he loves having his belly rubbed.
He's an angel now.
Yeah. Neighbors reported hearing the bulldog barking at around 4 a.m. and again at 8 a.m. on October 7th, the day of the incident. A loud party was reportedly heard coming from the address. However, the Time reports police believes there were no one involved in the incident, and police arrived at the scene around 2:30. So this guy laid in his own blood from 4 o'clock in the morning until 2:30 the following day, almost 12 hours.
Out of shame, probably.
Yeah. Local media reports the man's genitalia were not able to be recovered for reattachment. So the dog swallowed him.
Ugh, yuck.
He bit his balls off.
You think Brian Badass Boone is taking care of Biggie now?
Probably. He was probably happy to have him. He needed the company.
The heavenly dog.
Right. All right, one last story and we'll call it a night.
All right.
This is This is an interesting tale in itself.
All right.
Have you ever been to an antique shop? I'm sure you have.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan necessarily, but I've been, sure.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I do like to go to antique shops to look for nostalgia pieces.
Mm-hmm. But you're sort of a collector.
Yeah, I am.
That 50s.
Yes, exactly.
Thing going. So you are a collector, where I'm just a hoarder.
Yeah.
Everything that comes into this house just finds a place somewhere.
Right. I do collect, nostalgia pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got the old traditional clapping monkey and stuff like that, because I do like the old nostalgic things, like, for just lack of a better description, like the old Coca-Cola signs and things like that.
The lawn jockey that no one is supposed to still own.
That too. So anyway, if you go to an antique store, you're liable to find antiques.
Sure.
There's no judgment on the antique. It's not like the antique store produced these antiques.
Yeah, they're just selling it because it's old.
Yeah, it's old and it's for sale and it existed and it's, whatever. That's how they make their money.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, an antique shop is slammed for outdated and offensive.
Oh, God.
For selling nigger money banks.
Nigger money banks?
Yeah, nigger money banks. And golliwogs playing musical instruments.
Jesus.
So again, It's not like this antique store produced these items.
Mm-hmm.
They're just antiques and they're for sale.
They probably bought these things how long ago? 50 years ago or whatever?
I don't even know if they bought them, whatever the case may be. Maybe they're on consignment or something.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
The items were on display in a glass cabinet in Memories Antiques Ramsbottom anti-racism charity Hope Not Hate said that they were outmoded and appalling. Mm-hmm. A shopper said he understood why people would find the items
offensive.
Exactly. Memories Antiques said the money banks have now been removed from the sale.
Good.
Because they were offensive.
Thank God they saved everybody from that fucking shock and outrage of seeing them.
Right. An antique shop has been slammed after selling an appalling haul of racist memorabilia, including nigger money banks and golliwogs playing musical instruments.
Is that one of them in the chat room?
Let me take a look here. I'll tell you. Yes, that would be one of them.
Looks like a Doover bank.
It could be.
That really is racist.
Well, regardless, it's still an antique. I mean, you don't have to buy it, right?
No, you don't have to buy it. And again, I'm not making a judgment. I could care less, but my God, whoever was making that really went. First of all, it's so dark. But my God, they really went out of their way to make that barely human and mostly ape.
Right.
I look at the face.
That's your opinion.
Come on. You don't think that that's more ape than human? They really were trying to make that look apish.
Right.
Oof.
The items included a pair of what are described as nigger money banks and reviled children's book, The Story of Little Black Sambo. Now, I actually had I didn't have it. We had it. It was in a child's what do you want to call? It was called Book Trails is what it was. It was a collection of books that had a bunch of stories in it. Mm-hmm. And that story of Little Black Sambo was actually one of the stories in that book.
And you were holding on to that until you had kids?
Well, I actually have it.
Of course you do, in case you ever have a kid.
Also on display are ceramic figures of golliwogs playing musical instruments, each and another offensively character-esque money bank of Smilin' Sam from Alabama. The final offensive item are 3 sets of 8 golliwogs playing musical instruments.
I never heard of a gollywog. I see the picture in the chat room, but I had never heard of that. Golliwogs?
It's a gollywog.
Never heard of that.
The collectibles are openly displayed in glass cabinets and Memories and Antiques in the center of Greater Manchester Market town. A spokesperson for anti-racism charity said, "This is outdated, outmoded, and offensive. We're well into the 21st century, not the 20th century." That's why it's in an antique store.
Right.
It's not being sold at J.C. Penney's or Walgreens or something. It's an antique store.
PC in the chat room. Where did you get your books, Neely? The Himmler Library?
It's appalling to use the N-word to describe anything.
Well, sorry that they did that in 1928 or whenever this thing was fucking made.
Right.
Fucking idiot.
It seems on the face it's pretty amazing that somebody in this day and age is still selling these things. They're not selling them as new products. It's an antique store.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a new product. They're churning these out.
Yeah, you're supposed to pretend that this didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because they're offended. Because this fucking charity bitch is offended.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
It's history.
Yeah, who cares?
It looks like an aberration. I suspect the owner will say these are antiques, but we're not in the same time now. They are antiques. I'm sorry. They weren't made yesterday.
You know what? If this dumb fucking charity wouldn't have made a big deal about it, no one would even know that they exist.
Right.
Nobody's ever heard of this fucking antique store. Shit would just be sitting there and no one gives a shit.
Right.
Now it's news. Now they're going to make more money selling other shit when people come in there to see the fucking, what's it called? The Nigger Bank or something?
Yeah, it's the Nigger Bank.
Yeah, no, people are going to come in to see that.
Or buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be some collector that's been looking for that his whole life.
Could be.
Who knows?
But I like that comment. I suspect the owner will say these are antiques, but we're not in that time now. No shit. It's an antique.
It's an antique store. We're not selling shit from 2017, you fucking bitch.
These golliwogs, no matter what people's memories of them may be, represent something from an earlier era when there were greater ignorance. Yeah, it's an antique store.
You know what represents something of greater ignorance? This bitch's fucking theory that everybody has to agree with her.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, I mean, she's just more or less making the point that these are from a different time.
Yeah, just shut up, you dumb whore.
Isn't that what an antique is? It's from a different time?
Yes. Yeah, the times were different then.
Yeah.
That's what these things were made before the civil rights movement, you fucking idiot.
People now know the suffering that black people and other minorities had to go through in the old days.
So you have to what? Pretend that they never existed until 1975?
Well, yeah, it's a historical revision.
Yeah, there's no history of black anything prior to Martin Luther King.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Take the Windrush generation and the suffering they've gone through. In that context, today it doesn't look appropriate, and it certainly is outrageous to use the term nigger.
Well, then why don't we go and fucking knock down the pyramids, too?
Yeah.
They were fucking forced into slavery to build those fucking things. Why don't we go knock that shit down, too, you fucking self-righteous cunt fuck? Fuck.
The antique store sits in a prime position in town center along the tea rooms, restaurants, and equestrian stores. The shop, spread across 2 floors, is crammed with vintage items, including books, jewelry, crockery, clothing, records, toys, and footballing memorabilia. Mm-hmm. The word on its own is very inappropriate to use. It's very much a piece of history, and to deny that as a piece of history is wrong, but to indulge it in it to promote it is also wrong.
Who's promoting it? It was one of many items in the store. Unless this was the only thing that they were selling was nigger gear. If the only thing that they said, now if the whole store, everything had to say nigger on it, then you might have a problem.
Right. But this just happened to be a couple of items in a glass case.
A couple of items in a store that probably has 1,000 items.
Yep.
I hate this woman and her fucking charity. And I'm guaranteeing it's a woman that's saying this shit.
Yeah, it is.
Of course it is.
You don't want to deny history, but that word in its own right is not appropriate.
Yeah, too bad. It happened. It was said before. It's still said now. Get over it.
Those articles were made at a time virtually nobody thought that there was anything wrong with them, but it's a statement of our history that we've hopefully evolved from and changed our views as a nation. You
know what? You can't evolve from something if you pretend it didn't exist.
Right.
There's no evolution in that. You have to acknowledge its existence in order to know better.
Right.
You fucking retard.
I can fully understand why the majority of people would find that
offensive.
Exactly. Memories Antiques have since confirmed that after receiving complaints from 2 customers, they have chosen to remove the items from sale.
And apologize, too,
of course.
Sure. We're deeply sorry that people don't understand that this is just an antique. Ugh. Hate these people.
A spokesperson for Memories Antiques said 2 ladies came to speak to me, and I wasn't aware of the item being called that by the dealer. See, it was a consignment thing.
Okay.
One of the ladies came to say she was quite upset by it, and I said, I totally understand.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. You know what she should have said? Then get out of my store.
Yeah, don't buy it then.
Yeah, beat it. Go to Walmart then, you fucking idiot. You overly offended douche.
The money box was removed immediately.
Oh, yes, with great apologies being said the whole time. Here's a gift certificate. Come back anytime and get something free on us.
Right.
Ugh.
That was the name of the item. It wasn't intended to be offensive. The Nigger Bank. That's the name it was called when it was first made in 1930.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that.
Right.
After the complaints, I said to the dealer, you must realize that this is inappropriate in today's society.
You see that?
Yep. It's the Doover Bank. It's the Doover Piggy Bank.
Wow. Holy smokes.
That's offensive to me, Kendall.
I'm very offended.
I am too. Just for that, I'm never listening to your show on Wednesday ever again.
Damn straight.
Because I'm offended.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. If you filled the Nigger Bank with money,
yeah,
does that make you nigger rich?
I think so.
Is that how that term comes?
I believe that's how that works.
Is that really where the term comes from? I never heard of this bank before.
Well, it was 1930 when you were born.
Yeah, I guess not then. I just wonder if I'm sitting here thinking, is that where the term comes from?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Could. I don't know. I'm always fascinated with this stuff. Fascinated that people are actually wasting their time being upset about stupid stuff like this. And I'm fascinated that stupid stuff like this ever existed in the first place.
Well, let's find out. Hey, Siri, where does the term nigger rich come from?
Here's what I found on the web for where does the term nigger rich come from. Have a look.
Yeah, have a look.
It doesn't really say.
No. Damn it.
No.
Huh. I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm always stunned that people have enough time and energy to worry about a product in a store.
Well, again, and it's not like it's a new product, and it's not like they're producing this product. It's just that it's a antique store.
I don't care if it came out this morning. I can't fathom going into a store going, oh my God, can you believe that they're selling that here? For any product ever. Can you imagine? Can you think of anything? Is there anything that could be made and put in a store? If there were fucking coffee table books of abortion photos, would you be like, that's terrible?
No.
I've got to complain about this.
No, because I'm very insensitive to that kind of shit. I don't really care.
I mean, whatever.
Honestly, I don't care.
But that's, why does anybody care? What benefit is there to any person to worry about this shit?
Because it makes them feel like they're worth something because they've stopped an injustice. That's how they fulfill their existence in this life. It's just like, I did something good today. I stood up for the oppressed.
Right, I guess.
It's all about them. It's really
they all want to be a white knight.
More or less, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with you or me or making society better or anything. It's just like, I did something to justify my existence.
Yeah. Well, go fuck yourself.
I agree.
You fucking self-important cunt fuck.
More or less.
Hate them all.
I think that's really what it boils down to.
It really does.
It's just it's terrible. But again, I'm kind of with you. I don't know, maybe I'm a cynic or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But if as you put it, if I was in a store where they had a coffee table book of aborted fetuses,
yeah,
I would just look at it and go, yeah, I'm not buying that.
If they had this fucking tampon tea for sale, would you be like, oh my God, they can't sell that here?
Yeah, I'm gonna call Walgreens immediately.
You just wouldn't buy tampon tea.
Of course not. You would just go, oh yeah, that's kind of gross.
I mean, I'm gonna make an assumption here that you've never bought a FUBU shirt.
I have no idea even what that is.
All right, it's like black guy clothing.
Okay,
15 years ago.
I'm just gonna take your word for it.
Okay. But they sell it at Walmart. That doesn't, or any clothing store, and that's not. If you were going to a clothing store looking for clothes, and they sold FUBU, even though you don't buy that, does that mean that you wouldn't go there anymore?
No,
that's ridiculous. Or would you complain? Hey, why are you selling this FUBU?
Right.
Yeah, you'd just be like, move out of the way of that shit. People are so fucking stupid. They're just too fucking stupid for me. I wish I was fucking 50 IQ points stupider so that I could be like the rest of society, that I could worry about stupid shit.
Well, I agree with that.
Hate it.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up another show.
Oh, wow.
Went by very quickly.
Yes, it did.
And I appreciate everybody who's tuned in tonight and been a part of the show and the chat room and called and all that fun stuff. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And we'll be back next Saturday. We'll do this thing all over again. Hopefully, everybody enjoys their hopefully extended holiday.
Yeah, let's hope.
And I'm going to jet out of town myself and go enjoy myself, and I'll be back in time for the show next week.
Well, there we go.
All right. So for Ohio Grown, I promised him I would play this acoustic version of the One Live Night Dokken.
Okay.
Into the Fire. So that's how we're going to take us out of the show tonight. So we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Appreciate everybody, and we'll be back. So this is Neely along with my very good friend
Chris Hagan.
And we are gone.
My kitties.
Hey, this is Jeff Pilson, and you're listening to The Classic Metal Show.